Well, hello, everybody. We are doing things backwards today. Of course, life decides to get in the way. So instead of doing the second part of the timeline, we're going to do this one now. And if I get home early enough from the concert tonight, we will do part 2 of the timeline tomorrow or tonight, later this evening. But I'll be damned if people are going to come out here and lie just to lie to create stories to cover their own bullshit. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of addressing some BS that just popped off. And now it's being claimed that we're lying about stuff. Nah, nope, not today, not tomorrow, or any other day. So buckle up. All right, so, well, I shut my camera off. We are going to, my hair looks like a mess. Don't mind me, I'm just sitting outside. Okay, we are going to walk things backwards. So I'm going to take you to the most current things, and then we're going to walk backwards in order of how this all happened. But I'll be damned if people just continue to spin lies and take no accountability. Hey, Music City Mom. Hey, Penny, for your thoughts. Thank you so much, Music City Mom, for the gifted memberships. You guys, welcome to the cabana. Whispers in the Shadows. Hello, Diana. Lolli's Bird Barn. Revival. Janice in Accounting. Donna. Catherine. Kimberly. Pika. Avi. Winnie the Pup. Jojo. Liberty Farmer. Betty MCW. Chatty. Mal. Tebow. Heather Dawn. Be Switched. Taylor with Stitchin', Bitchin', and More, Running Bear, Sheila, Proud Mimi, Michigan Wifey, The Deflectionist, Just My Opinion, Claus, Snowflake's Nightmare, Hindsight's 2020, Tracy, Dazed and Amazed, Dreads for Life. Thank you. I had to shower and get ready to go. We've got choir concerts, Christmas choir concerts today, so I've got to go change clothes and put shoes on and stuff and touch up my face a little bit before we go, but I've got about 3 hours, so, but we will not be here that long. Where did I leave off? Donna, Mrs. In My Opinion Fletcher, Polish, True Love Has 4 Paws, Skip, Ghoulie, Inspired by Flava, Teresa, a lot of the bad girl today. Well, I'm the bad girl usually, but Lolli is the liar. Bodie McBoatface, Just Me Sunshine, OG Shorty, Captain Mother, Adrian, Kathleen. Thank you guys. Hey, Mercedes girl, how's mom doing? Are you guys home? Hey, Ellie, only one. FSU girl. Daisy Girl, My Crime Time, Mama Trucker, Carla, Petty AF, Meg, Petty Dragon Fruit, S. Francisco, Popcorn and M&M's, Maria, Jan, Kim, Patricia, Cat's Eye. Mom came home from the hospital yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad she's home, but I'm sure the recovery will be very long. I'm sorry about that. I'm glad she has you. I'm glad things are going a little bit better, though, and she was able to come home. Sorry, I'll hold my computer closer. Hey, well, there's that. Thank you for the update, Mercedes Girl, too. Hey, Wolfie. That's a fact. Kraken, Janelle. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Hey, TK, Lauren. Rose of Sharon. Ree, Shop. Vanessa J. Patty Ponytail, Naomi. All right, let's roll. Okay, this is to correct the record because yeah, I don't fuck with liars. So I'm gonna walk you through her community post. We're gonna go backwards in time, so you'll understand where we're going in a minute. If you don't, you'll be confused from the jump, and that's okay. I'll explain as we go. So earlier today, Lolli did a live stream. In this live stream, which I do have, and we're going to go over parts of it, she makes some claims in this live stream that were extremely problematic and put other people's names in her live stream that really didn't make sense, and played a voice clip of somebody else, PJ, Dolly's girlfriend. She played a voice clip of PJ, but was claiming it was a reporter. So Granny happened to be live and talking about stuff with Dolly. And I came in late, but I saw that PJ was in the chat. But well, before I even noticed PJ was in the chat, I asked a question because I didn't know if Granny had already covered this situation or if I came in late and missed everything. But I really wanted to know because I had been going through and timestamping stuff, trying to figure out where the hell this came from. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. But after that, Lolli decides to make community posts. So she says, I have a correction to make. On my live today, I said, Ainsley Daniel was the one talking on recording. It was just confirmed to me just now. It was PJ Vision talking, not Ainsley Daniels. That's a reporter, like a legit reporter. I'm sorry for any confusion. However, I did say I had not confirmed who exactly it was. See y'all this evening. Then she goes on to make a second community post and says, if anyone has a way to reach out to PJ, please ask her to email me. They are lying to her, and I would like her to know I was not talking bad crap about her. First and foremost, I went up on Granny's, asked my question, and played the clip that I'm about to play for you guys, the stream, where it came from, of exactly what I was questioning and why. But I'll be damned if these people continue to just lie and try to cover their asses when they're blatantly caught in lies. So this is in response to her stupid community posts. By the way, I downloaded this shit. That's how we do things over here. She has since removed this. Rightfully so. But let's get into what she says.
We just get the icky part most of the time. No fun snow.
Oh, I'm going to warn you, she is sped up because this is normal speed.
No pretty snow. Thank you all for being here. What a good crowd we have. Thank you all for being in here. Let me say hey to Miss Rhonda. Thank you for being here. Hi, Miss Peggy. Let's see, we got Tam here. How you doing, Tam? Hi, Tabitha Star. Blue Eyes. Thank y'all for being here. Lisa.
Yeah, you can tell how miserable that would be if we listened to it in regular speed. Are you okay? Have you slept? I'm just asking.
How are you? There's not crazy.
I don't know.
Hello, Whispering Winds. How are you?
The only way I can see somebody getting stuff so blatantly wrong is delusional tiredness or something, because this doesn't even make sense how she spun this in the first place, let alone how she's continuing to spin this now. And let me clarify, what she's about to claim did not even happen, does not exist. I went and looked. I'm not a fan of Dolly or PJ, as you guys know, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And to put people's names into stuff, especially a reporter, and blame them for the blatant bullshit that you put out here, and then now you're not even taking accountability for it. You made one correction. You left the video up. You only just took the video down. and you're trying to blame other people and say that we're lying to her. Nah, I'll show you exactly again what was being addressed and why.
Let's see. Okay, I think we got all caught up. Hey, car guy, how you doing? It's a chilly day in the bayou, eh? It is chilly here. I am not far from you here in East Texas.
I can't
Tim, you hate snow?
liars.
What? How can you hate it? It's so pretty. I love it when I can sit inside and just look out the windows. And that's about as long as we have snow. So outside of San Antonio. Yeah, look out a window with a. I ask that if you enjoy what you're listening to, please subscribe to the channel.
Oh, right here. This is interesting.
I ask that if you enjoy what you're listening to, please subscribe to the channel. Help us grow this channel out. Hey, Minnesota. I have family lives up in Minnesota, DJS. But if you would just subscribe to the channel. Looky here, we got a new member with Reality Wins. A beautiful, 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 caring person. Probably one of the biggest hearts on YouTube. Thank you, sweetheart, for that. I appreciate you.
A chronic liar that's caught in chronic lies. Okay, carry on.
We have you are Lolli.
Speaking of Reality Wins, this part is really interesting to me. But let's play it at regular speed because I find it to be even more impactful at regular speed.
Are you excited? We have memberships. We have merchandise here, just some fun things. And of course, if you would like to throw me a tip out, I will gladly go pick me up a large Coke with extra ice from the Jack in the Box. But
sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
Make sure, if nothing else, please hit that like button if you like what you're hearing. Hi, Sammy G. How are you? Okay, guys. Let me start with saying I got some information. If you listened to Dolly this morning, then you've already heard it all. But I do want to.
If you listen to Dolly, you've already heard it all. Okay, I do have bones to pick with what Dolly did last night. It wasn't this morning. It was last night. She's wrong on when it even happened. But she's about to misinform with what she claims happened on Dolly's as is.
Put this out before anything. Hi, S. Dot.
She wants to make sure she puts this out before anything. Now, the thumbnail of this video was breaking news. And the title was, Is It True?
This is nothing that has had time to be vetted, looked into, or any of the things. Okay, guys?
So she claims it hasn't been vetted. There's not been time to vet it or listen to it even. What?
Please, please, please keep that in mind.
Oh, okay.
The one thing I can say is the voice that you're going to hear is a news reporter out of, I believe it's Kingsville or Rogersville, Tennessee.
Kingsport, you mean? Again, did you not sleep at all and are just in a delusional mind state? Because I don't know what's going on here, but this is some crazy shit. So she's saying that the voice you were about to hear is a reporter's voice. Hasn't been vetted, but somehow she makes this connection that it's a reporter's voice that she's about to play. And again, she said that this was from Dolly's stream. None of this happened on Dolly's stream. Again, none of this. Yes, problematic things were said, in my opinion. But this did not happen.
We have heard her name repeatedly in the Summer Wells case. Hi, Hope Floats. Thanks for coming in. Ansley Daniels is a very well-known reporter in that area. She does amazing work. She's done multiple interviews in the Summer Wells case. She's done her research with it. She keeps the possibilities wide open. She has been fair about all of it, and I totally respect her as a reporter. And when I heard her, I just was taken back. So if you haven't heard this.
When she heard her, she was completely taken back. Again, Nobody heard this reporter because it's not the reporter. And you can't tell me for 1 second that where she obviously watches Dolly as much as she claims to, that she doesn't know whose voice it is that she's about to play. In my opinion, this was intentional, thinking she would get away with it and nobody would push back. But unfortunately, people are paying attention.
I'm going to play it. But like I say, keep in mind, this was, I'm afraid, recorded without her knowing. She was talking to a friend.
She claims that this was recorded without supposedly this reporter's knowledge and that the reporter was talking to a friend. None of this is true. All of this is manufactured, you guys. Every bit of this is manufactured. What she does is take a clip from PJ and play it, claiming that it's this reporter.
Probably. And this recording is what came out of it. So here we go. Let me make sure I got it up loud here so y'all can hear.
It did get removed. Absolutely. Because I brought attention to it. But now she's trying to lie about that we're lying to PJ. Fuck you. I'll play it again right here. This is PJ's voice, not a reporter. And she knew exactly what she was doing. Lolli knew. She says it wasn't vetted. But then she goes on to talk about this amazing reporter. And she, was recorded without her knowledge. The fuck?
They told me certain things in the CPS report, and Chris wasn't allowed to be at that home. And I said, I knew it. I instantly just was like, I told you so. Which, yeah, I know. That's the kindergartner in me. I can't help it. It just comes out sometimes. So then we start reading some more, and it basically says accusations of strangulation. And I know a lot of people had said that also, not myself.
Okay. A 33-second clip, and we get the reports that are out there in Seth's hand. The same reports, I believe, that T-Rev and his girlfriend had taken. And this came from PJ Vision. But those reports supposedly say
this came from PJ Vision. That is PJ's voice. Where is the reporter? Where did you bring the reporter into this? Because that's PJ's voice from her live stream. But again, you're claiming that you get the reports that are out there. There's nothing about reports that are out there, and that is PJ talking. If you watched Dolly this morning, is how she prefaced all of this, then you already know all this. Then she goes into the reporter was recorded without her knowledge. None of this even makes sense. Like what she even attempted to spin. And this is why I even paid attention to it. Because why? Why? Let's let her go.
Christopher Proudfoot was not allowed in the home until that investigation was over and a decision was made. I'm assuming. She does say there were reports of strangulation.
That was PJ. Again, not a reporter that you put her name in this.
The pictures have been going around. There are bruises there.
And by the way, nothing about a reporter was stated. Again, I'm going to say that over again. On Dolly's, we're going to watch some of that. On PJ's, nothing about a reporter was talked about. So where she got this, that this reporter was recorded without her knowledge, she was speaking to a friend, she completely fabricated this whole scenario. Then says this is from PJ. Yeah, that's PJ's voice. We all know that.
And hang tight with me. I gotta try not to hit no buttons here for a second and find, oh, not that guy, sorry, this one. If you look close, it does look like a bruise from his left cheek, under his left cheek there, down around, and it looks like some fingerprints as well. So
let's think about this logically. I've already talked about this. I've already debunked this and pushed back when Betty tried this bullshit. And I will continue to say it. So supposedly, according to what the team members have been saying, is there was a meeting with all three parents at the beginning of February. with the school. Okay, let's take that as fact. Okay. All 3 parents met with the teachers at school. What we know from the parents and or people that have came out. We don't know any of this is true as is. I mean, this is a complete hypothetical situation. But let's say that all 3 parents were involved in this situation at the beginning, the last weekend, or the first weekend of February. That was the last time Chris Proudfoot was home. Okay? Because they're trying to imply that these came from a specific someone. Now they're trying to say that Chris wasn't allowed to come back in the home until the investigation through CPS was over. Okay, Chris wasn't home the rest of the month. That would have been Seth's weekend. So Sebastian goes with Seth. Then he comes back, spends a weekend with Katie. Then Sebastian goes back to his dad's. He had him the 16th, 17th, 18th, into the 19th because it was President's Day, which is a holiday. This picture was taken the Saturday before Sebastian went missing, which would have been the 24th of February. If that is a bruise, which I personally think it could be, because all of them have been saying that. Let's use common sense here. Let's use logic. On the time frame, coloration of bruises. I'm not a medical professional, but you do your thoughts. And this is the photo that Katie shoved in in Seth's face when he arrived on the scene. This is the photo that they made such a big deal out of, Katie shoving in Seth's face. This is the photo. I've already gone through all of this. Factually, we don't know if this is a bruise. Factually, we don't know any of the comings and goings of those households. We don't know if this is a bruise, who potentially put it on his neck, but common sense would make the timeline a little bit suspicious that it even could be Chris. Common sense would lead one to think, okay, the news article between Seth and his PI at the time, Heather Cohen, came out and stated that the CPS report was likely to be unfounded and it was closed. We know a CPS report was opened when Sebastian went missing. That is all we know. We have no information of how many reports there are, who's in the reports, what is mentioned, what narratives are in there, if they have anything to do with abuse, if they have anything to do with any of the parents. We are being told that without any proof. We have no idea what is truly on his neck. We know that this picture was taken the Saturday before he went missing. But because they use emotional manipulation like a CPS report that cannot legally be released, people run with it and they make salacious details up about said reports and fill in the gaps. And then people like this do not vet their information, do not even care to, and it's really truly about the dignity of a minor child.
When I showed this picture yesterday, I made sure everybody knew that it did come from someone who had already altered pictures at the Texas Roadhouse.
Ma'am, this photo was being used by Bullhorn Betty and others for months now about the supposed bruise. They made a big deal on it and they stopped talking about it as soon as some of us started pushing back and pointing out the timeline of things and saying how that doesn't really fit with what their narrative was. They kind of stopped, but carry on. This is not new information. They've tried this before. And again, you know who had all of this information and whatever happened with CPS? Law enforcement. Law enforcement had that information and Seth confirmed that.
I can't verify to you guys that this is true. I can't verify to you all that this is an actual bruise on him.
Oh.
All I can do is bring things to you when I hear them.
Oh. Misinformation. Because you fucking told everybody in the beginning of this that this was a legit, recognized credible reporter that was recorded without her knowledge talking to a friend. Then you play a clip of PJ talking about the situation that had nothing to do with what you're trying to paint. You said that this came from Dolly's. If you watched Dolly's stream, none of this happened on Dolly's about this reporter or any of this situation. I'll show you what actually took place on Dolly's. It couldn't be vetted though, but you heard this voice, right? I think you need to slow down and back away because these intentional, misleading narratives that you're doing are catching you up real fast.
And when it's something that is very possible, we all have seen.
I don't know who's saying it's BJ, but this is Lolli's Beautiful Broken. I don't know who's saying this is BJ talking. This is Lolli. She has been on panel with BJ. She is a part of the misinformation side. She is from the Summer Wells community. She claims she's true crime. I reviewed her last night. This is Lolli. This is not BJ. You've heard her voice on panel with BJ, but this is not BJ. This is Lolli's Beautiful Broken. Again, this is her page. We just looked at it. This is her page. I don't know how that's even getting confused.
Yes, that's it, Lisa. We all kind of suspected it, but now it seems like it could be very, very true. And that
Lolli comes on panel too and shows herself at times. Like I'm not really sure how the confusion is. Not everybody's somebody else, you guys. Not everybody is somebody else. Some people sound alike. Again, she's sped up even. So not everybody is somebody else, or there's just this many problematic people out here, truly.
right there is the reason I am showing you this and letting you hear this. See, Mary, you have a very good point there. And that is one of the first things I thought about when his mother said she didn't like his school picture because he had chocolate milk on him. Could it be it wasn't chocolate milk? I don't know. Guys, we really do not know.
We don't have a clue, but you're making it into something.
But
and you're claiming that you had a recorded call with a reporter. Like, do you not understand what you're trying to tell people? And then you say, well, we don't know what it is. No, we don't. That's why it's negligent to run with shit like this.
What we just heard a reporter state with her own words of seeing this document, and we have a picture.
Did you catch that again? She once again says that you heard a reporter stating that. PJ isn't a reporter the last time I checked, and she's definitely not Ansley Daniels.
But with what we just heard a reporter state with her own words of seeing this document, and we have a picture as we're looking at right now that could possibly be accurate, but we cannot say 100% for sure. That's the kind of thing that we need to be able to talk about and look into, because this is a real possibility.
Oh, I'm speeding around.
There is something, in my opinion, that is very sketchy with him not wanting to answer where he was that Sunday night. I know if it would be me, I would not want to be the person to say I could not be in my own home. I mean, none of us would want to have to make that statement, especially after making the statement that Sebastian himself thought if he continued that he was hoping that he would be able to get Chris removed from his own home, and it just wasn't happening. So we hear that. Okay, thank you for that. I just got a picture sent to me, and we'll look at that as well. But what I'm saying is, guys, when you have those kind of words, you have an open CPS case that has nothing to do with the child running away. It was done prior to that. And then the stepfather saying Sebastian thought he could complain enough to get him removed from his own home.
And them mixing all of this together and then now throwing a credible reporter in there that it's not even a reporter's voice, it's PJ's voice, is wild. Like how they can mix all these stories at once. But it's because people don't do their research. But we heard her tell us all last night. Oh, in fact, hold on. She put her video up from last night. Remember, I told you guys she mentioned about the perp walk? Well, let me play that part because she privated this last night.
And attacks Seth because he's the one that said it. No, Seth is not making a movie. Now, Summer Wells' case, that's a whole different conversation. Yes, she was, Blue Eyes. She was. I done played it on here. I done showed it. Gonna be all smack talking and then tell the man that she expects an apology, basically.
This is the live stream I was reviewing last night when she privated it, and I was telling you guys about this part. Here, I'll play it for you. Again, she's talking about Kathy Bauer socks.
A roundabout way. I can't wait to live stream her perp walk, her son's perp walk, her daughter-in-law's perp walk. Yes, Find Summer's Truth. Gabby Petito's van was found by a YouTuber, and it was that area where that YouTube family had it on their video that her body.
She can't wait to live stream their perp walk. She cannot wait to live stream Kathy Bauer socks, Chris Proudfoot, and Katie Proudfoot's perp walks. This woman is out of her mind, in my opinion. But that was what she did last night. We reviewed that stream. If you want to see 3 disgusting creators doing the most last night, I encourage you to watch last night's live. Let's get back to what she did today. I don't think we've been on Earth for a long time, Chasing, if you're asking me.
And then we hear a reporter say these words. You have to talk about it because...
Once again, she's claiming that that's a reporter. That's not a reporter. That's PJ. How did I lie to PJ? I didn't lie to PJ. You can go listen to what I said on Granny's panel. Granny was gracious enough to let me come up and ask the question so I could find out because I was doing my due diligence. Duchess can tell you, I was on the phone with her as I was going through all the videos, looking at all of the transcripts from the last 2 weeks of Dolly's and PJ's to find anywhere that they talked about this reporter. Never happened. But then I was able to ask PJ directly if anything was ever mentioned about this reporter or anything. Nope, it wasn't. This is something she completely concocted out of nowhere. PJ and Dolly never even mentioned a reporter, and I'm going to show you that.
Is that possible? Could it be possible? Now, okay, I'm going to show you this picture again real quick while I am getting the other one ready to go. So you see his neck.
And I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not a fan of Dolly, period. What he does is negligent too. How he paints this all as entertainment. It's not entertaining. This is a missing minor child. Abuse is not entertaining whatsoever. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And when you're blatantly lying, when I can tell that that's PJ's voice and I don't even really know them like that at all, nor do I watch them, and I'm investing time to go debunk the bullshit lies that you're telling, Lolli, it's a problem. Again, facts matter. And when you're completely concocting an alternative story of even what happened, and then taking no accountability, oh, you got it wrong. It wasn't Ainsley's voice. You corrected that. And then you went on to say, oh, they're lying about me. No, nobody has to lie about you. We can listen to your own fucking words.
You see what looks like bruises. Now, I'm going to show you a picture that one of my mods just pulled off of the internet. That way, we have it covered. Now, there's that picture, and this came off the internet. You pretty much see the same bruise look. And that breaks my heart. So you go from that one to that one. It's possible it may not have been altered. Is it a shadow? It could be. It very well could be a shadow. But I do already see a shadow is what makes me think it might be a bruise. Because we can clearly see the shadow going down onto his shirt. But guys, keep in mind, we can't say for sure. For you that have just come in, I will play this again. This was put out by PJ this morning. And Ansley Daniel, who did the Summer Wells case, is talking with someone who just recorded a little portion of what she said. So here is this, and this is Ansley Daniels, you here talking.
Okay. They told me certain things in the CPS report, and Chris wasn't allowed to be at that home. And I said, I knew it. I instantly just was like, I told you so. Which, yeah, I know. That's the kindergartner in me. I can't help it. It just comes out sometimes. So then we start reading some more, and it basically says accusations of strangulation.
I'll back that up and slow it down because I have her sped up. But even on 1.75, you can tell that that's PJ. This is PJ talking, not a reporter. And again, Dolly and PJ never mentioned the reporter. This wasn't even something that they spoke about. Yes, they spoke about CPS and somebody contacting them about supposed CPS. But it wasn't a freaking reporter. And this is a voice clip of PJ. And from my understanding, this is from PJ's live this morning. Not Dolly's, PJ's. She absolutely either is delusional completely. There's no, I don't even know how you make excuses for this. Like, how do you even, you just take ownership and say, no, I concocted complete bullshit and ran with it. Like,
PJ this morning, and Ansley Daniel, who did the Summer Wells case, is talking with someone who just recorded a little portion of what she said. So here is this, and this is Ansley Daniels, you here talking.
KCG, how do we know that this person started this? Because she's telling you that. There is no mention of a reporter in Dolly or PJ's live streams. She concocted this and it is intentionally misleading people. It's pretty easy to track backwards. She concocted all of this on her own.
They told me certain things in the CPS report, and Chris wasn't allowed to be at that home. And I said, I knew it. I instantly just was like, I told you so. Which, yeah, I know. That's the kindergartner in me. I can't help it. It just comes out sometimes. So then
that's not to say she wasn't sent stuff from her buddies behind the scenes, because again, don't forget, hold on. I'll find this part right quick. So maybe her team helped her with this, but she absolutely made the decision to go live and spin this story.
Start reading some more, and it basically says accusations of strangulation. And I know a lot of people had said that also, not myself.
Accusations of strangulation. She says she read in the report, along with the fact that Chris Proudfoot was not allowed back in his own home.
Crazy.
Hello to everybody coming in. Thank y'all for being here. If you
absolute fucking insanity, but don't forget, we don't know what we're talking about over here. We're all way behind. Let me remind you what she said last night.
New issues that we've got
from the TikTok,
because they've merged with the drama. They like to talk about people.
Oh,
talk about all the things other people say. I heard the comment made, and they want to call themselves true crime over there, and we're not supposed to be true crime. Well, you see, let me tell you something. When you're in the true crime element, you have to do your research. You have to look things up. You have to look into things. You have to dig hard. You have to have a team of people that work with you and don't fight against you. And that's what we have over here.
They have a team of people that work hard together and do all the research and stuff. But that was last night. So between last night and this morning, their research went completely out the window because she's now, as of today, she said that Dolly's live was this morning. It wasn't. It was last night. She also took an intentional clip of PJ, says that PJ and Dolly were where she sourced this from, but then claims that the clip is a reporter. So was it a behind the scenes team effort? I don't know, but none of this even happened. Dolly and PJ didn't say anything like this. But don't forget, they've got a team. We're all just stupid.
They're drama crime. Yeah, that's more like it. Because I don't care what other people's opinions are.
Oh, okay. Sure you don't. Let's go back to this one.
Did not hear me in the very beginning. I said,
this is the video she just did like an hour ago.
This video, I cannot verify. The only thing I can do is compare her voice to all the times that we heard her voice in the Summer Wells case, how well of a job she did reporting the
this is another one of those comparing voices. So she just compared the voices. She took a clip of PJ, knowing it was from PJ's live stream, took a clip of PJ, then said that she basically compared it to Ansley's voice, and ta-da! Here we are. She's taken full credit for what she did here. Don't get it twisted. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Summer Wells case, how involved she was trying to get it out there correctly. So in my case, I wanted to come up here and bring this to you and talk about it because we do know T-Rev and his girlfriend have a copy of the CPS report. And
I gotta speed this bitch up. Sorry. Nope, not today.
That could very well have been shared with many people. And I just can't help but wonder how much of the other accusations are true. Because guys, this is serious.
Oh.
This is a young man. I had been calling him a child all this time, according to the pictures we saw, because his mother did not feel the need to share with us the pictures she took the very night he went missing.
You guys, I have heard the rumors. She actually mentions, hold on, let me pull that from last night too. The whole phone thing, I'm trying not to even, I didn't realize that that's what they were saying fully last night, but that's a bunch of bullshit. They're saying that Katie had another phone in her pocket and it lit up and they all were able to find it. I do not believe that at one point in time. The team is in high gear trying to, hold on, let me show you this. Lolli brings it up to, this was last night's stream. Here you go.
Altered to start with. Why somebody felt the need to alter it, I don't know. Exactly, not crazy. Yeah. Yes, it did look like she had a phone in her pocket. It did brighten up at one point where her side pocket of her jacket was. I do think she had out a burner phone because those pictures, from what I understand, have never been seen.
There's no indication whatsoever that there's a second phone. In fact, quite the opposite. But the team is running with that as of recently, too. That has been a whole thing. Spanky, Brittany, Lolli, a lot of people are saying that they saw a phone in her pocket that lit up. No, you don't. But anything to get a new narrative going.
So we didn't see a young man. We saw an older child.
I gotcha, Alpha.
Sam Art, Seth will not be getting in trouble because he did not give those. Those were stolen from his phone. So no, Seth will not be getting in trouble.
How can he prove that they were stolen from his phone? He claims that they were in some sort of relationship, that she coerced him basically by using sex in the documents, the exhibits, that's basically claimed. So how are they going to prove that they were stolen and not just willingly gave over to her? Now, I find it interesting, Michaela's involvement from jump, and especially her involvement with Terry Lynn. I've got a lot of questions on that, but how are they going to prove? And he should have secured those documents as is. So it sounds to me like they're trying to get ahead of like how they're claiming these leaks are coming out. In my opinion, it's kind of intentional if they're being leaked. And they're trying to find ways to spin it. Were they taken? We don't know. I've questioned Michaela's involvement all along. Could she have taken him when he was sleeping? Absolutely. Could he have given him to her? Absolutely.
I agree, Tabitha. I could not have the restraint that Seth has had through this whole entire ordeal. He has been treated like a child.
One thing I can tell you, though, is if other people are accessing those reports through the CPS system, there's a way that IT can track who's accessing those records and if they've been copied or anything of that nature. And eventually somebody will have hell to pay if they are accessing records and sending them out and giving them to family members or so on and so forth.
Yes, T-Rev and his girlfriend would be the one to get in trouble. For sure. It's already been looked into. But I wanted to share that with you because this seems to be, and in my opinion only, guys, I believe Ansley Daniels because
Or I am with you 100%. 100% at this point in time. I trust, and I have trusted no one. The only thing I worry about is Sebastian's dignity and Sebastian's well-being and his whereabouts at this point in time. There's too many things, too many intentional movements, too many things that are going on, and none of it sits well with me, especially when we heard that as of March 2nd, some of these rumors were being released and talked about by creators.
I've seen her in action a whole lot. A whole lot. And she has done an amazing job in the past for us. Samar, I can agree with you on that 100%. If Sebastian didn't have Seth, it would have been brushed under the carpet. Exactly. T-Bone, you and me both, sister. You and me both. Ansley Daniel is a very respectful reporter.
Brianna, thank you for the support. Truly, thank you for the support. That is the March, is it the March 21st, 20th interview? That's the one I shared on my community tab the other day where he goes in and talks about what law enforcement told him were the lights in the neighborhood. And he does. He's at a truck stop and he says in the beginning of it, like, I'm not going to put you on camera. They don't need to see you in your jammies. That is the same live stream. I shared it on my community tab because BJ was going over what Chris said. Somebody clipped Chris on Queen's panel saying what law enforcement and explaining the light situation. Although, you know, they were trying to be like, oh, yeah, well, we've got questions about that. Well, Seth said almost verbatim the same thing that he was told from law enforcement in that interview with Pascal. But Brittany refused to play that. And I didn't want to be seen as raiding her chat. So I made her a community post and posted the link and the timestamp to that. Do you think she ever played it, though? No. No, she didn't. T-Rev 757 should have disappeared with all of the intentional fake phone calls and horrific children's tragedies. If you take that clip of Chris on Queen Bees talking about the lights and put it right next to the clip of Seth talking about the lights, you can tell that law enforcement had a discussion with them and told them basically the same thing because they're both basically saying the exact same thing, but they're only questioning one side, you know. And again, I have questions about those lights too. I don't know. I'm just going on what they were told from law enforcement. That's what we know right now. And until law enforcement says otherwise, that's where I will stay.
She has an amazing reputation. That conversation sounds.
Mike, sir, you're supposed to be on vacation. Thank you for the support. Get back to vacation.
Like she was talking.
But thank you.
With a friend. That was not something she put out to the public. And I hate that I'm playing this. I hate that.
Bullshit. You hate that you're playing this. You know that this is PJ. Let me back that up again. Listen to her, how she's selling this. Let me slow it down again so people can understand, so they get full context of me not manipulating things. This is her live stream. I downloaded it completely. It's not edited. It's not chopped. It's not nothing. It's downloaded directly from her live stream, full capacity.
She has an amazing reputation. That conversation sounded like she was talking with a friend. That was not something she put out to the public. And I hate that I'm playing this. I hate that it came to this. But guys, if it is anything close to the truth, then we need to hear. We need to hear it. We need.
Vivian, that makes an interesting point. We will be getting to that in the timeline as we go through that, because what is interesting is Michaela was close to the situation in the beginning, and she was a part of finding the glasses, and she was also buddies with Terry Lynn, who eventually found the pants. And then the story comes out later that, well, they were Sebastian's pants, they were just too small. There's a whole lot of backstory behind a lot of that stuff, but it's interesting because Michaela was with Seth all the time, riding around in his truck. Didn't Seth say he had a bag of Sebastian's clothes at one time in his truck too? I just got a lot of questions about a lot of the spins and the stories and things of that nature that have happened, and the intentional involvement of Terry Lynn and a few other people like Michaela and stuff. Again, the optics of all of this just don't make sense.
Need to know. And yes, Yelva, I'm with you on that one, because I hope she does not lose her job.
Yep.
I really, really, really hope she does not.
She's not, you hope she doesn't lose her job. Does this not sound intentional? She knows that this isn't Ansley. She knows where she got this clip.
But guys,
this is sick.
If it is anything close to the truth,
this is
then we need to hear. We need to hear it. We need to know. And yes, Yelva, I'm with you on that one, because I hope she does not lose her job. I really, really, really hope she does not.
What did
and
do to you?
Thanks, not crazy. I appreciate that. It's on my mind. Our Taylor, thank you. Lolli, can I ask permission on your channel for help with the transportation cost and food while in the hospital? Thank you. If this is possible, I'll provide my email. If you will set yourself up a GoFundMe page or something that way, I would be more than happy to do that and share it out for you.
This is wild.
I hope you understand, but with as much craziness as going around on these YouTube streets, I do not feel comfortable with my name being attached on there at all.
With as much craziness as you're telling everybody that a clip of PJ is a reporter knowingly misleading people, carry on.
But yes, you, our Taylor, her son has been very sick, and she is been with him at the hospital. So you let me know, our Taylor, if that's something you decide to do. I will definitely share it out.
Thank you, Alabama Nana 5. Thank you so much for the support.
I am sorry that in the middle of the day we had to gather together to hear this, but I wanted you to.
Yeah, make that make sense too. Yeah, she sent I mean, Rebel. I don't know anymore. I've given up. I mean, I'm sorry if she's in the hospital, truly, but I did not. She did, Autumn, after I reviewed her? Or are you talking about the one I was reviewing her when she hit that live stream? Did you know that, Autumn? Yeah, I think she does. I think the reporter does need to know about this claim so she can get in front of it. Oh, yeah, I was reviewing that, Autumn, when she took it down. That's why she took it down, is because I was reviewing it. We did a late night stream last night. We did a slumber party in bed last night. I think, yeah, I think don't mass email the reporter. I think she'll probably find out from a reputable source.
Hear it. I wanted you to inform your own opinions, because like I said, I cannot say I was there and heard it being recorded at that time.
Oh, I forgot about those, to be honest, about the videos PJ did, Sophia, but you might be onto something there. But I don't know her intent. But she intentionally takes a clip of PJ and pushes it off as a reporter.
Tam, I did not hear Dolly. It was PJ that put it out, and
it was PJ that put it out once again.
Not to disrespect PJ in any way, because I don't know her at all, but I do know that she is in the friends group with those in the swamp areas over there.
Oh.
Yes, Lisa, you're correct.
Oh, you might
on that. She said, if I'm not mistaken, Trev's girlfriend stole that information from Seth's phone, allegedly. And yes, it is 100% correct.
And I'm going to show you guys what Dolly said. PJ did not put this out like that. PJ did not ever claim that a reporter said anything. And I'll show you that. But she is totally misrepresenting what actually happened and what was said.
So
wild.
Oh, Art Taylor, no problem. You just let me know and we'll put it out there. It is a sad thing because we have information, we have pictures, we find out some information is done on purpose and said on purpose just to throw everybody else off. We have pictures that are being altered, but yet we don't know till later or find out later. And it is so hard to even stop and think and believe what to even think. What do you think about it? What do you do? Do you believe things that are put out there? I don't know. I can't tell you what to believe.
Was that even this morning, though?
So all I can do is bring you guys this truth of, here, this is out there. This is what we're hearing. This is what's being said. So that's the only truth I can give you, is it's out there. Let's listen to it. Let's talk about it. Because
this is so weird.
Folks, there is a possibility that this could be real. And just that little possibility alone just makes me sick to think about. But I can't make you make up your mind. You people have your own minds, your own thoughts, your own process. Hey, Jude, I think Ansley is just a reporter. And I'm wondering if she has moved to a different area or something. So,
do I have anybody in here that watches PJ like that? Was this supposedly from PJ this morning? Because she's saying, and PJ didn't, this wasn't PJ, this was not even, like, none of this was said like this, but Miss Switch, do you know what live stream PJ even talked about this in? That she clipped this from? Yeah. Oh, she deleted her live stream from this morning? Okay. So the live stream it was in was deleted. Interesting. Yeah. I know she said it was from this morning, but it's not in the one that she's got up from this morning. Okay. So it's a members only. Gotcha. That makes sense. Fucking she's a member of PJ's into this? Grits, that makes sense. It's a members only. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you. So she knew that this would be hidden. Wow. That's even shadier. So she takes a clip from PJ's members only stream this morning talking about what went on Dolly's last night and then misrepresents it as that's wild. That gets even creepier.
I don't know. Like I said, I wanted you guys to hear it. I didn't want it to be put out there as truth 100%. I don't understand why people that are friends with the prophets over there are putting this out, because this is not a good look for him. So Are they putting it out so that we play it and we put it out there? Aha, we caught him. That's not our job, people. Our job is not to catch him. Our job is to put out information.
That's why. It's a member stream. So she's a member of PJ's. It must be on members only now. Maybe it was public to begin with. Wow. That's interesting. That is very interesting to do that. Like, that's even grimier than I thought it was originally. To be a member. Yeah. Maybe she wasn't and just clipped it while she was listening to it.
I don't know who else was talking or who she was talking to.
It's put on members only now.
Hey, Jude, it didn't say who she was talking to.
So it was public when it began, and now it's put on members only.
Yes, yeah, but it is so sad. Seth has been intimidated every which way. When a channel from the swamp area, and I call it the swamp area because they pretty much play whatever and have no remorse for making fun of people or talking bad about people. But they sat there when Seth is doing a live the night before his son's 16th birthday. He poured his heart out. It's what I expected from his mother all these years later.
Yeah, she took a clip. So it's on members only now. It's not publicly available. I just looked. So either it's deleted or on members only. But she took a clip, whether she's a member or not. She took a clip from PJ's saying it. She knows it's from PJ's. She actually claims it's from Dolly's in the beginning. And then she says it's from PJ's. But she takes a clip of PJ talking and then takes that clip, 33-second clip, and makes her own live stream, and now claims that clip of PJ is a reporter named Ansley Daniels. This is fucking grimy. This is even grimier than I thought originally. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's PJ from Dolly Vision. Yeah, PJ Vision is the one it is, Marlena. Yes.
Yeah, that's her talking.
Yep, she's the one that did it.
She's the one that did it. She is blaming PJ for doing like that. This is wild. Wild.
So,
I don't like Dolly.
Sorry, guys.
This is weird.
Oh, talking about Seth's stream.
I have mods that are close to PJ and love PJ. I have no problem.
This man talked from the heart.
Yes, Pat.
He asked that people do not do any type of thing for Sebastian's birthday the next day. All he wanted was for everybody to spend time with their family, make memories, and that sort of thing.
This is really weird.
So with that comes the tears, talking about his son, talking about trying to wake him up with a spray gun. You know, I have done the same to my boys when they were young. Teenage boys are hard to wake up some days because they just don't want to get out of bed. But Seth does this live.
Sweet crazy. If you rewind, you'll understand more.
Talks about his feelings, talks about his broken heart. You see it all over his face. He has to pause a few times to blow his nose. One time, he didn't even make the pause button. And there was talk about that as well. But guys, that's what we should have seen from the mother as well. Please keep looking. Tomorrow's his birthday. Please help us get some good news for tomorrow. Something like that. But we don't hear it from them. They sit over there quietly and go on vacations. Hi, Bo. And we have to sit here and decipher through all the things that we hear. And that's what we're doing right now, is trying to listen to what's being put out already. And yet it's coming from the side that instead of sympathizing with the broken father, they sat there and counted dollar by dollar the amount of money that was given to Seth that night.
Yeah, this goes to show it's even more intentional than I originally thought. Sorry, it's way more.
And they want to say we over here are more concerned about money and views. who is going to count how much money a father has raised. It's his God-given right on this earth in the United States of America. YouTuber, that is a thing. And that's what I said from the beginning. I do not know where this came from. I don't know anything. All I know it was Ansley Daniel. I recognized her voice, and I'm putting it out here for y'all to do your research.
Wow. This was intentional. Lolli did this to PJ. I'm sorry, this is intentional. She knew that she was clipping PJ. There's nothing even stated. I believe you guys that there's nothing stated about a reporter, because I went and watched Dolly's live and nothing is mentioned about a reporter. So the story wouldn't have changed like that. This is crazy. Yeah, she said research. She said research. Of course she did. This is worse than I thought originally. I'm glad
they felt it more important to count every single dollar and do a live stream about it. Folks, this case is not right. This whole case with a missing runaway teenage boy who left home in the middle of the night, supposedly with no shoes, no phone, no blanket, just a small keychain flashlight that didn't even work.
Wild.
And that wasn't put out till just not too long ago because Seth said it.
Sheila, I believe you. You know that. I believe you 100%. And it doesn't matter. Right is right, wrong is wrong. She took intentional clip of PJ and played it, misrepresenting it. And she not only, but think about this. She not only is trying to wrap PJ up into this, she is also using a reputable reporter's name. A reputable reporter's name, saying that a phone call was recorded of this reporter by a friend and it was released. She is trying to use a reporter's name to give this validity, knowing that she took a clip of PJ and twisted it. This is wild. Wild.
There's videos of flashlights coming from their backyard. Amy-O, adios.
It gets crazier every time we listen to these people.
But guys, this stuff is being put out there. Be careful when you hear something. Be careful about making quick judgments on it. Be careful, because we don't know
really
what is true or what is not true. I'll play it again one more time.
Here you go.
For everybody that is come in, it is a video, or it's a recording is what it is. There's a news reporter that we all had gotten to know from the Summer Wells case, and she is talking. And the words that were recorded, I wish I could have heard the whole conversation, because when you only put a little something out there, it might sound bad. I know this for a fact because that's what people are doing to me. But when you play the whole conversation, it makes sense.
This is rich.
I don't know how to make sense of this. I don't know how to make this any better. But here we go. Y'all listen close.
They told me certain things in the CPS report, and Chris wasn't allowed to be at that home. And I said I knew it. I instantly just was like, I told you so. Wait.
I'm rewinding it and putting it on regular speed so you can hear. It's very clearly, distinctly PJ in the clip that she's playing, that she's misrepresenting as this reporter.
They told me certain things in the CPS report, and Chris wasn't allowed to be at that home. And I said I knew it. I instantly just was like, I told you so. Wait, yeah, I know. That's the kindergartner in me. I can't help it. It just comes out sometimes. So then we start reading some more, and it basically says accusations of strangulation. And I know a lot of people had said that also, not myself.
Okay, so that's all we got out of it. And was it coming from the other side? I'm not sure.
She continues to make a point of saying that it's coming from the other side. Vibrator, thank you so much for the support. She calls it Kingsville too. She doesn't even call it Kingsport. She calls it, isn't it Kingsville, Duchess, that we heard her say? Duchess and I were on the phone and I was trying to piece this together and explain it to Duchess. And I was like, I'm so fucking confused. I was trying to unravel how this all even happened before. And it has only gotten worse as we have gone on. This is PJ, so clearly PJ. And she's misrepresenting it, saying that it's a reporter. But she knows she clipped this from PJ's live.
But if what this woman is saying is true.
And PJ never talked about a reporter named Ainsley Daniels once, according to what I'm being told by people that I trust. Never once talked about a reporter. She did a live stream that was obviously public this morning, and now it's on members only or privated, going over what Dolly talked about, which we're going to go into here for a few minutes and see how this all blew up. But Lolli took pieces and completely built another story and fabricated an entire story, bringing other people into it.
That she did read the report. Guys, there's a problem. Because if those bruises on this baby are 100% real, and there's talk of strangulation, attempted strangulation.
Alpha male, I'll show you what was actually said on Dolly's last night. And it was negligent to do that anyways, for Dolly to do what he did.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for this one. Let me see if I can get that. But guys, the thought, seeing this picture. Now, remember, we looked at this picture that was put out, the bruises circled, and one of my mods just went to the internet and pulled up that picture. So it does make you wonder how very true it really, really, really is. The possibility goes a little more.
This is crazy. All this is crazy. Let's go to what Dolly actually said. So this is Dolly's stream from last night and where this all kicked off. Again, the bruise situation is nothing new. Betty tried this months ago about bringing this bruise to light. I actually went back at Betty and questioned Betty and showed a bunch of proof and timeline stuff. We've already done that. And quickly, Betty shut up talking about this bruise. But now other people are picking up once again because they're mentioning these CPS reports again. And this is where Dolly is going to tell you how this kicked off for him.
Unless you need to move something heavy, then you can get a dolly and like move something around. I don't know, but don't try to be Dolly at home. Okay, so people all the time hit me up with clues and tips and sightings and oh my, right? Just oh my. And some of them, I don't pay much attention to, but I do look into every one of them.
Mean Code, of course, I don't know the behind the scenes to answer that 100%, but PJ was very upset about this and declined that she ever spoke about. And there's people in here that watched the entire live stream that she never talked about a reporter whatsoever. And you can tell from what Lolli is saying, if you go back and rewind, that Lolli concocted this herself. Like, she compared the voices. So it is very clear that PJ never spoke about this reporter, but Lolli did the voice comparison and figured out it was this reporter supposedly, which was never even spoke about. If you go back and listen, you can follow along that there is obviously nothing to do with PJ being involved in this, in my opinion, whatsoever. Now, I have a huge problem with Dolly doing this. This is negligent. I don't find humor in missing children's cases whatsoever, but I think most of his content is ridiculous and he finds it entertaining. But this is where this whole new shove came from. But Lolli took the opportunity to completely spin it another direction. So there's that. So we've got multiple Missy messy situations compounding, and it's going to be a whole shit show.
So if you hit me up, right, and you say, Dolly, I know some information, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is prove it to me. Okay. And then while I'm waiting for you to prove it to me, I'm doing a background check on you. I'm searching who you are. I'm making sure you're a real person, where you're from, what you've been charged with, what your grandma said about you, because I want to know what information that I'm putting out into the world. Okay. Just like that. And then as soon as I usually can't verify it, I don't talk about it.
Okay. So if you can't verify, why did you talk about it?
I usually don't talk about it because people say all kinds.
Well, you're making an exception this one time.
Kinds of crazy shit, right?
Whatever.
Remember the phone calls where he was in Walmart stomping his foot, screaming proud foot? People tell you stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, and Silver's on the scene, took it and ran with it and made a big, huge series about that and went to the police department about that, and people salivated over that. Yeah, okay. Just like they're about to do with what you did last night.
You're a YouTuber. I guess they just see if you'll run with their crazy ass misinformation, or they just need some attention, just some attention, right? So I had somebody hit me up back in May from Hendersonville. Now, it's been a long time because Dolly a little slow getting back to some people, right? A little slow getting back to people. And they gave me this spiel about Chris Proudfoot not being allowed in the home because a month prior to Sebastian Rogers going missing, a CPS report was filed. Okay, well, we know that's true. There's this open CPS report. And he said that he had a family member. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's a he. Said he had a family member that worked in, I guess it's DSC or DCS in North Tennessee. Here it's CPS. So I'm just going to say CPS. It's easier on me. In Virginia, it's a CPS, the Child Protective Services. And he had a family member that worked in CPS and that he had seen the reports. Okay, these CPS reports that everybody's been talking about. This guy said, hey, I've seen these CPS reports. Now, that ain't all he said. But so soon as he said that to me, I had to go in.
And I might misspoke when I thought this was an email that he had gotten. I don't know how they had this conversation. But again, if somebody's family member works for Department of Children and Family Services and they are releasing this information, they can track who's accessed those reports and heads will roll. But there's that.
And do a little background check. So before I get into this story, I want you guys to take this with a grain of salt, not a fact. This is just somebody that's saying some stuff. It could be some truth to it, or it could be a whole bunch of bullshit. And Dolly will let you know, right? I'll let you know if I think it's bullshit. I'll let you know, and I'm going to tell y'all that what kind of source it came from, right? I don't want you to go out here spreading misinformation because this dude said something and it could.
May, he sure did that. Yep, we talked about that too. Yep, he sure did. He thinks he saw a kid that looked just like him with an older lady, but he didn't call anybody, didn't call out his name, didn't nothing. Yep, he did. He did all that when they were going down to CrimeCon.
Be just a guy that needs some attention. That's what worries me when people hit me up, because my first thought is, why are you telling me? Why ain't you telling the TBI, the FBI, the Sumner County Police? Why would you tell some fucking idiot on YouTube? Because I tell you guys all the time, if you have a tip in this case, you can send it to me, of course, but hit up the TBI first, hit up the Sumner County Police, especially if it's something you're saying is legitimate, all right, and that you can prove, but still hasn't proved. I've asked this guy for proof, and he did write me back, and he said, my family member's trying to get that over to me, but I only got a certain limited amount of time before I start to call bullshit, right? Because if you're going to,
so he's got no proof is what he's telling you. He tells you that he tries to vet all these people and their stories, and he usually doesn't bring it to light if he can't vet it. He can't vet this information. He has no proof of it, but he's still going to dangle it out here because, again, when you say things such as there's 5 CPS reports, legally people cannot access those records to verify how many reports there are, what the narrative is. So it gives opportunity for people like this to insert any narrative that they want alongside of it and run with it. And again, this is what continues to happen. And I knew as soon as that was dangled again, and it's not the first time it's happened. This has been dangled since May. It's been amplified when they need a distraction. They keep dropping that as emotional manipulation. It is what it is. I don't find anything entertaining about it because people are doing stuff like this, and now it will be ran with as fact, and people are trying to add to, well, we've seen these reports and this is who's accused of this. We have no proof of that, and we will not have proof of that because it is about a minor child.
I'm from the show me state. Not really. I'm really from Virginia, but it just sounds good to say that. Like, you got to give me proof of what is going on. Or I want to see the CPS records. If you see them, I want to see them. And this person's
actually offered money for somebody to send the records over to him before, when it was going around that T-Rev and Michaela might have access to them. Dolly offered money for somebody to send him these records. I find that to be disgusting too. Again, he claims that he's all about the children and for their benefit. To me, this is nothing but grimy exploitation. I'm going to say what it is.
telling me, hey, you can say.
I don't agree with what Lolli did by intentionally taking a clip of PJ and misrepresenting it as a reporter, especially a credible reporter. I don't agree with that either. But Dolly kicked all this bullshit off and opened up this door for that to even be done.
Things about it, but you can't say nothing about me because I don't want to get my family in trouble that works at the CPS. Now, listen, some people come to me just like in Georgia, and they come to me with real information. They just don't, they may be a little bit of the criminal element, right? And they don't want to talk to the police.
That's a fact. Yes, he did. Yes, he said it on a live stream. Yep. I can't tell you exactly which live stream it was, but yes, he absolutely did offer money publicly for those reports. Yep.
Because either they're a drug dealer or they're not a good person, or they had bad run-ins with the police and they just don't want to F with the police, but they'll tell somebody else. They just won't tell it to the authorities. I know that sounds crazy, but I've seen this happen with me firsthand, especially in Georgia. There's a lot of bad people in Georgia that wanted to tell on Leilani, but they didn't want to tell the police. And they were given accurate. When I mean accurate information, I mean they were given accurate information. So, this person says that in this CPS report that Chris, this is all alleged, and this is coming from a source that we couldn't completely vet.
So it's an unvetted source that he doesn't usually put information like this out there, but he's going to dangle this for fodder. Kids abuse or potential abuse, alleged abuse, is not fodder for the internet, and none of this is helping Sebastian. This is disgusting, is what this is.
Okay, we couldn't completely vet this source, and he's saying that Proudfoot Chris was strangling Sebastian Rogers, right? And right in my head, boom, it clicked in my head, right? I was thinking, okay, usually I think people are lying. Okay. But me, myself, I've always leaned towards that possibly that Chris may have strangled Sebastian. That's why he had the bruises on his neck. Now, who have y'all heard talking about bruises on the first one you've heard talk about bruises on?
No, sorry, it was Betty, but carry on.
No. Dolly been talking about these bruises on his neck and what was on these CPS reports.
Again, I find it disgusting because Betty did the same thing that you're doing and dangled it for fodder on the internet instead of realizing if this is true and those were bruises, the situation that she was talking about. But again, common sense and logic would make one go over the timeline and the dates where Sebastian was and what we know and what we've been told as fact by the parents and law enforcement, and put things into perspective and go back to the clip on media of Seth and his PI that was working on his behalf at the time, where she talks about the last report being likely to be unfounded because it was a closed case, and then knowing that they opened one because Sebastian went missing, you might start having questions and realize why none of us are willing to run with the fact that there's these 5 reports and take this stuff seriously. But I guess anything's content when people like this can make it into. It's not their child that potentially was abused, and it's not dignity for somebody they care about. So why does it matter, right? It's all just content, right? It's all entertainment. Should be seen as humorous. I find nothing humorous about potential abuse of a child that is missing.
The last 9 months I've been talking about this bruise and the CPS reports, and I said, look, I know it's something worse than whipping Sebastian because he openly says he whipped Sebastian. But if you strangled the kid, would you say you strangled?
He didn't openly admit he whipped Sebastian. He said he gave him a one-time pop on the butt with a belt years ago that has been turned into a beating, a whipping, all of the things. You're entitled to your opinion about corporal abuse or corporal punishment. Let me say that, because a lot of people don't even consider it abuse. You can feel how you want to, but this whole narrative of Chris beat a child with autism doesn't stand there either.
Strangle that kid? And how do kids get bruises on their neck? Okay. Now, I've been a kid. You know what I'm saying? I rode BMX. I still ride skateboards to this day. You know, I get bruises. Y'all seen that big, huge ass bruise I had on my leg? I had to go to the doctor over that one. Right. So I get bruised up. I know you can, you know, playing and raising hell, you can get some bruises. Right. But I can tell you one place I ain't never had a bruise: on my neck. Okay. How the hell do you get bruises on your neck unless somebody grabs you like this? Okay. And these pictures we're seeing coming out with, you know, bruises on his neck. Them bruises are like where your fingers would be if you grab somebody by the neck. And then, you know, a lot of people think that them bite marks, or it looks like scratches and bites on Chris Proudfoot's crook of his arm, may be some from Sebastian. Now, if we put two and two together, what does Chris not want to talk about? He don't want to talk about what's on that CPS report, because it may not make him look like a good guy, and it may.
Those freaking marks that we're seeing 8 days later in an interview, public interview, where he opted to wear a short sleeve t-shirt on an interview. We have no indication that they're bite marks, except from playing with the dog.
Make it look like the possibility that he had something to do with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. All right. Now, I can't confirm no way, because he did not send me copies of these CPS reports. So I can't tell you for a fact that this is true, right? But I was thinking, okay, this starts to lean in to a little bit of what I've been thinking anyway. And now this is the mind blower, right? Now this is why I had to start background checking this dude and looking into who this guy was. First off, he is from Hendersonville, Tennessee, right? But he has some sketchy criminal record. Okay, he has a sketchy criminal record. I looked up the man's criminal record, and he has things like trying to pick up prostitutes and lying to the authorities and things like that on his criminal. Huh? Allegedly.
So making this up and bringing this public was all for fodder and to get people to run with more narratives. We don't know what was in those records. He knows that. He knows that he's just making this into content. This is disgusting. Truly disgusting.
Allegedly. My producer's screaming allegedly. So, you know, he likes the prostitutes, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And he's been hemmed up a couple times for picking up ladies of the night. Okay, ladies of the night. So if you give me something sketchy, and I'm going to look into you, okay? I'm just going to let you know when you give me a clue. Now, I ain't going to turn you into the police or nothing. Like, I ain't going to hit up the police and be like, you know. But this man told me that Chris and Katie were looking to buy a birth certificate and a social security card for $5,000.
Yeah, okay. And they came to the internet and YouTubers with this information instead of contacting the authorities. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And this is why it becomes dangerous. And people wonder why Chris might have posted a post saying, if you didn't like me last year, you might not like me in the upcoming year. Well, I wonder, when your family's being said stuff like this about, what you would feel. Did you ask me something, Autumn? Sorry if you did. Yeah. Where's Where's the proof? He's telling you there's no proof of this. This is absolutely terrifying.
Okay. And that another couple in Hendersonville with an autistic child sold them this birth certificate. Now you go, okay, that probably sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy. But we see a handoff at Texas Roadhouse. So I'm trying to debunk what he's saying, right?
We do not see a handoff at Texas Roadhouse. That is not what we see. Everybody's seeing something different. I see stars every time I listen to any of these idiots because they're fucking blubbering idiots at this point. Running with fake narratives about the parents of a missing child. Thank God I don't have much more time to review any of this because these people make me physically ill. For everybody that says, well, Dolly says it's all for entertainment. This is a missing child and a missing child's family. This isn't entertaining at all. Laws need to change so people like this cannot do this. It's disgusting. And anybody who sits by that condones this is just as disgusting. And that's my opinion, not allegedly. That's a fact. That is my opinion. And I will continue to have that.
But then I'm thinking in the back of my mind, well, what did that lady hand Katie at the Texas Roadhouse, right? And I'm thinking, is this guy full of shit or is he lying? Hold on, producer's coming in.
I just wanted to tell you that Nick is in the chat and he said, I misunderstood you at first, never listened to the rumor mill. Great work, Dolly. Let's bring Sebastian home together as a community united. We will find out what happened that fateful night.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna track him down, Nick. Don't worry. Everybody keeps working on it, chipping away at it. I think something will come out. Okay, I do think something will come out of all this, right? So I'm just gonna tell y'all what this person said. He said that, you know, that they were looking to buy a birth certificate and a social security card, and they put this boy in a home. Okay, that they put him in a home under a different name. Now, I can't verify any of this. I can tell you now, it could all be bullshit. 100, right? That's why when he started telling me.
Sorry, I was changing my shirt really quick because I got to go, but I want to hear that again. Was that Nick?
Or is he lying? Hold on, producer's coming in.
I just wanted to tell you that Nick is in the chat and he said, I misunderstood you at first, never listened to the rumor mill. Great work, Dolly. Let's bring Sebastian home together as a community united. We will find out what happened that fateful night.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna track him down, Nick. Don't worry. Everybody keeps working on it, chipping away at it. I think
Sure was. Tell me this isn't sketchy. Nick the Hat reaching out to Dolly saying, great work. Running with more fake narratives. Wasn't it just a couple days ago in Mr. and Mrs. E's a couple weeks ago that they were threatening to sue Dolly for comments he made in a chat? The optics, I'm telling you people, they just don't add up. If you look at the optics, they're all trying to paint a narrative against the parents. Chris and Katie. Quite ironic, if you ask me.
something will come out. Okay, I do think something will come out of all this, right? So I'm just gonna tell y'all what this person said. He said that, you know, that they were looking to buy a birth certificate and a social security card, and they put this boy in a home. Okay, that they put him in a home under a different name. Now, I can't verify any of this. I can tell you now, it could all be bullshit. 100, right? That's why when he started telling me, I was looking at all the things that are going on. I was like, okay, well, there was a handoff at Texas Roadhouse from a complete stranger in the middle of the night, and she was looking around kind of sketchy, right? You know, when she walks out the Texas Roadhouse, she's kind of looking and she's like, I don't know. And then the more I went and watched that video, I was thinking, okay, something.
Maybe she saw someone that looked like you and thought they were sketchy. I mean, I'd be creeped out too. I'm sorry. I'm over it. I'm over it. These people are disgusting. No proof of any of this whatsoever. Running with the team's narrative. Okay. Yep. He already started a legal fund, but he's not even added to any legal things. Makes you wonder who's all been doing what all along, huh? And he removed a lot of his Sebastian videos and wasn't going to talk about it again until there was something in the case. They sure got him back involved, didn't they? That was pretty easy to get him back involved, running false narratives.
Is going on at this vehicle? What? I don't know. Something was exchanged. Something was exchanged. I don't know if it was something harmless because, you know, I wasn't there. I really don't know. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes bad people, even though this dude had a pretty bad criminal record, sometimes them people don't like to go to the police, right? They rather tell some idiot and let it get out there, and then they're going to law enforcement because, you know, they've had bad experience. That apparently this dude has served a little bit of time in that Sumner County jail for picking up ladies of the night. Okay, for picking up ladies of the night. I was like, okay, I got some dude that likes prostitutes, you know, giving me some information, but how true is that information? I don't know, but I figured, you know, if there's something to it, I'll throw it out here. You know what I'm saying? And then people out here, they can check into it, do what they need to do. Is there something to the truth that this kid, because a lot of people do think they handed this kid off and hid him somewhere. Okay. Now, if we know, if you know, the police and the FBI and everybody was calling up to these like youth centers or behavior modification schools, and they were looking for Sebastian Rogers, he would be easy to find, right? But what if he's not under Sebastian Rogers? He's under an alias, okay? And the one thing that did stand out to me, just like I said, I did check to see if this person that was giving me, because usually when people are lying, they'll do it from dummy accounts, right? So I was able to verify this dude's name, track him down to Hendersonville, and he told me he lived in the neighborhood.
Babe, this guy doesn't know anything, let alone can see over a fucking 2-foot fence. I mean, there's that. He's got an extend a ladder for the reaches he's even attempting to do. I'm over it. He goes on to imply that because Chris was on Facebook talking to somebody about jobs, that he's looking to get a passport and move to Canada. He's looking for jobs in Canada. He goes on to spew a bunch of misinformation in this live stream. I'm over it. I'm done. I can't stand that mofo. He's dangerous. This is negligence. I'm sorry. You guys can like PJ, but Dolly creating this mess got PJ where she is too, because it gave people the opportunity to create and concoct more stories on top of it. Liars lying on liars. I don't really have much sympathy for any of them at this point because there's nothing entertaining about a missing child and making allegations without proof about abuse of a missing child. Nothing even remotely funny or cute about it. And if you sit by and condone this type of shit, then I guess you kind of get what you deserve, in my opinion. So there's that. Green-eyed PI, thank you for the support. Yeah, it's just disgusting. Yep. All right, you guys, I am out of here. I got to go get a kid from club and get another kid ready for a choir concert. So I am off to do my adulting. If I get done early enough tonight, I will come back with part 2 of the timeline. If not, we'll just have to bump it back a day or so. Tomorrow I will not be on in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, depending on how I feel. But this stuff has got to stop. So we've got, I mean, liars lying on liars, creating stories that are nothing but lies, and all to do with smearing the dignity of a missing child. There is nothing funny about abuse situations or potential abuse situations whatsoever, and they all sure find it to be hysterical. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night, and if I see you guys later, I will see you later. If not, I will see you soon. Stay safe out there. Bye, y'all.